Well, good day, and welcome. A lot going on in the world today. We have these anti-vaxxers. We have these fake newsers. We have the trucker convoys, globally, cities, towns, borders. Those truckers, are they confused? Are those anti-vaxxers really insane? Maybe they read books. Maybe they don't. We're going to dive in today into a book maybe they read. This book's coming to us today. Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires. The history of corpse medicine from the Renaissance to the Victorians. History of corpse medicine from the Renaissance to the Victorians. We will have selected readings today from this book. Let us start off with a few underlined passages through my readings. The corpse of hanged criminals offered a new and less exotic source of human flesh. Human blood was also swallowed, sometimes fresh and hot, seconds after the beheading, sometimes direct from the living donor's body, sometimes dried, powdered, distilled with alchemical precision. Human fat was one of the most enduring substances of all. Most authorities agreed it should be derived from a man who had met a violent death, preferably by hanging. In Germany and Denmark, poor citizens paid whatever they could afford to drink human blood at the execution scaffolds. And there is nothing which the powerful will not do to us, and that includes making us into medicine. Physician, George Thompson held that the saline spirit of blood, bones, and urine, well rectified, are an admirable use against the plague. And as we will see, for most early modern physicians, the key questions about mummy was not should we eat people, but rather what sort of people should we eat? Renaissance Europe believed that the aged could be rejuvenated themselves if they would suck the blood from adolescents. They would have recipients suck the blood directly from the donor's arm. Unbelievable. 1607, 1610 list various human ingredients, including urine, hair, blood, menstrual blood, turds, and semen. Remember, this is selected readings from Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires, a history of corpse medicine from the Renaissance to the Victorian. 1665. Carcasses of red men that have been hanged, broken upon a wheel, thrust through, been for one day or night exposed to the open air in a serene time, was preferred. Dr. Joy DeGruy. Epilepsy. Take the brains of a young man that hath died a violent death, together with the membranes, arteries, veins, nerves, and the pith of the back, the cerebral pate, if you will. Half a year in horse dung before distillation, because we're making medicine here. Robert Boyle seems to have credited a number of accounts by which human illness were transferred to animals. Illness is back and forth to animals. I mean, Convoy jabby jab. Blood, bones, and urine were rectified in our admirable use against the plague. Another, threatened by the plague, should drink their own urine, while women suffering from abnormal heavy menstrual bleeding should swallow the afterbirth of a newly delivered mother. What happens to our placentas, black ladies? At the same time, the patient might want to keep hold of her own conspicuous quantities of monthly blood, which was itself a valuable therapeutic agent. The poor were more likely to become the corpse medicine than to use it. Breast milk was used for a vast range of purposes, especially popular as an eye balm, problems with minor eye sores, and major things such as cataracts. To dissolve cancer, comfort the brain, procure sleep, for burns, deafness, gout, headache, piles. Almost no privileged women of this era breastfed their own children. Black women were always used for breastfeeding. What is it? What are you getting? What's going on? This history of corpse medicine. Fascinating. Dried human heart is another cure for epilepsy, and this disease will also respond to an infusion made from water lily, lavender, malmsey, and 3 pounds of human brain. Britain had received a shipment of 800 pounds weight of mummies. European demand for mummies seems to have been great enough to promote the commercial opportunism. Gotta get those mummies, yummy, yummy, yummy. Europe had 4 chief sources of direct supply of human body parts. They were the gallows, cutting them off, the battlefield, and the grave. Berlin, 1864. The executioner's assistants were allegedly selling blood-soaked handkerchiefs while actually drinking was recorded directly from the gallows in 1865. The blood of decapitated persons was drunk, particularly swallowed warm, at the moment it flowed from the body. This will cause the person who drank to live a long time, will strengthen the weak, cure the sick, and be effective against diseases, particularly epilepsy. Crowded with the populace, furnished with bowls, glasses, cups, and saucepans, anxiously awaiting the moment the axe should do its work. For sheer animalistic desperation, it is hard to beat that image of people jostling for the blood-soaked earth, perhaps fighting one another in order to cram some of the gory mud between their teeth. I am only on page 125 of this book, Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires, A History of Corpse Medicine from the Renaissance to the Victorians. Now, the use of body parts, placentas, breast milk, blood, bones from people who die in violent deaths. This could give alarm if you read these books, but hey, this book is only $300 to buy, not readily available, hard to acquire, yet based on corpse medicine. Dr. Joy DeGruy spoke about how in North America and many places, the hanging of black people, that there would be fighting. People would dress up in their Sunday best and fight over the body parts and the blood. And at times you think, this is crazy. Absolutely nuts. This is 2022. Absolutely nuts. I would have heard way more about this. But these books are kept at prices out of your price range or out of your thought process to buy a book. I say to you, there's a lot more we need to do. Some people mad about what's going on in the scientific community around medicine and what they're doing to us and experimenting with us could be based on things such as reading this book with legitimate fear. Other such things which are going on in our community, such as other books like Web of Hate, about the far-right groups and what goes on in Canada, what that impacts and what that affects. Who's doing what? The convoys, the confusion? Is there books? Who's not saying what? I suggest dive deep. Many hats to simulate thought, but knowledge itself will prepare you to stand on your square. So none of these things will come against you. So you will know what you will need for self-administered reparations to thrive in the new world. Pay attention to your health, the food, the minerals. Do they have seeds in them? Maybe this is bigger than you and me. Maybe we should just read some books. I don't know. But yo, dive deep. This is the Black Rose Nation throwing out there some fertilizer so you can look at things from a way that might not be brought to you before. And remember, mummies, cannibals, and vampires. $300 from Indigo. What are some of these crazy people thinking? Joe Rogan, I'm coming for you. Peace. Babalua Anu Shabazallah. Making it crazy, but making you want to dive deep. Like, comment, subscribe below. What are we saying? Tuskegee, I remember. Polio, AIDS, I remember. Ebola, I remember. AIDS, I remember. Eat right for your haplotype. Peace.